The rain hammered the cracked windshield like 1,000 accusations, each drop blurring the neon lights of downtown Seattle into a hazy accusation of what we'd lost. I slammed on the brakes just in time, tires screeching against the slick pavement as Jordan's truck swerved into the intersection without warning, his eyes, wild and desperate in the rearview, locking onto mine for a split second that felt like eternity. "Alex, don't," he mouthed through the storm. But it was too late. The crash was inevitable, and so was the truth we'd both been running from. That night in the ER waiting room, the sterile hum of fluorescent lights buzzed like the static in my head, drowning out the distant wail of sirens. My hands trembled as I clutched the styrofoam cup of coffee gone cold, the bitter taste mirroring the knot in my gut. Jordan had walked away from the wreck with nothing more than a gash on his forehead and a fractured wrist, but I knew the real damage ran deeper. Years of secrets we'd buried under layers of friendship, late-night confessions whispered in the glow of his garage, and that one kiss under the harvest moon that changed everything. He sat across from me now, bandaged and brooding, his broad shoulders hunched as if the weight of the world, and our unspoken love, had finally crushed him. "You shouldn't have followed me," he muttered, voice rough like gravel, avoiding my gaze. But I had followed him, because pushing me away to protect me had never stopped him from pulling me back in, time and again, like a tide he couldn't control. It started 6 months earlier, in the sticky heat of a Seattle summer that refused to break. I was 28, fresh off a divorce from a woman I'd convinced myself I loved, because that's what you do in a family like mine, where the Harrington name meant old money, older expectations, and zero room for deviations. My parents' sprawling estate in Bellevue overlooked Lake Washington, a monument to their carefully curated life. Dad's tech empire built on algorithms that predicted consumer desires but couldn't foresee his son's. Mom's charity galas masked the whispers about my adjustment period post-marriage. I'd moved into a cramped apartment in Capitol Hill, the heart of the city's queer scene, telling myself it was a fresh start. But fresh starts don't come with baggage like Jordan Reyes. Jordan was the mechanic who'd fixed my beat-up Subaru when it coughed its last on I-5, his grease-streaked hands steady as he diagnosed the timing belt with the precision of a surgeon. At 30, he was all lean muscle and quiet intensity, with dark hair that fell into his eyes and a smile that hit like a shot of whiskey. Warm, disarming, dangerous. He lived in a tiny bungalow in Georgetown, the kind of place cluttered with half-restored Harleys and dog-eared paperbacks on philosophy. We'd bonded over bad coffee and worse jokes, him teasing me about my fancy boy accent, me ribbing him about his endless supply of flannel shirts. Friendship bloomed easy, like it was meant to be the safe harbor after my storm. But safe harbors have hidden reefs. One evening, after a brutal day where my graphic design gig at a startup left me questioning every choice, I showed up at his door with a six-pack and a chip on my shoulder. He let me in without a word, and we ended up on his sagging porch, stars punching through the city haze. "You ever feel like you're living someone else's script?" I asked, the beer loosening the knot in my chest. Jordan leaned back, his knee brushing mine in that accidental way that wasn't accidental at all. "Every damn day," he said, voice low. "Grew up in a house where love meant fists and forgiveness came with strings. Dad was a cop, Mom a nurse. Both thought tough love was the only kind. When I came out in high school, well, let's just say the Reyes family doesn't do rainbows." His laugh was hollow, but his eyes held mine, raw and unguarded. That vulnerability cracked something in me, and before I knew it, my hand was on his, the air thickening with the weight of what we weren't saying. We didn't kiss that night. Instead, we talked until dawn, about the exes who'd ghosted, the hookups that left us emptier, the dreams we'd shelved for survival. Jordan wanted to open his own auto shop, free from the chain that chained him to 12-hour shifts. I dreamed of illustrating children's books that showed kids like us it was okay to be different. By morning, the porch swing creaked under our exhaustion, and he squeezed my hand once before pulling away. "Your trouble, Harrington," he murmured, but the smile said he didn't mind. Trouble found us soon enough. My sister's wedding was a spectacle. White tents on the lawn, string quartet warbling Vivaldi, guests in tailored suits sipping champagne that cost more than my rent. Emily was radiant in ivory lace, Her fiancé, a bland banker named Chad, who made my skin crawl with his casual homophobia. Heard you and that grease monkey are thick as thieves, he'd slurred at the rehearsal dinner, clapping my shoulder too hard. Just don't let him rub off on you. I forced a laugh, but it burned. Jordan wasn't invited. Too blue-collar for the Harringtons, but he'd texted, "Have fun in La La Land. Save me a dance." I replied with a thumbs-up emoji, heart pounding. The ceremony dragged, vows exchanged like stock options, but my mind wandered to Jordan's laugh, the way his calluses felt against my palm. At the reception, I slipped away to the boathouse, needing air that didn't reek of privilege. That's when I heard it. Footsteps on the dock, deliberate and familiar. Jordan emerged from the shadows, hands in pockets, that crooked grin lighting the dusk. Couldn't stay away, he admitted. Drove by, saw the lights. Figured you might need a rescue. Relief flooded me, and I pulled him into a hug, his flannel warm against my tux. We talked in whispers, the lake lapping at our feet, until his fingers traced my jaw, tilting my face up. The kiss was inevitable, soft at first, then fierce, tasting of mint and moonlight, his hands framing my face like I was something precious. We broke apart gasping, foreheads pressed together. "This is real, right?" I whispered. He nodded, eyes fierce. Real as it gets. But as fireworks cracked overhead for the bridal toast, reality intruded. A flash, my cousin's phone, capturing the moment. By morning, the photos circulated family group chats. "What's this? Alex with the help?" The texts escalated. Mom's passive-aggressive, "We need to talk, darling." Dad's curt discretion, "Son. Emily's heartbroken, how could you embarrass me on my day?" Jordan saw the fallout first, showing up at my apartment with takeout and a storm in his eyes. "They're coming for you," he said flatly, scrolling through the messages I'd hidden. "Your job, your family, hell, your whole world. I can't let that happen." I reached for him, but he stepped back, jaw set. "This? Us. It's a liability. I'm poison, Alex. Grew up dodging blows. I won't drag you into that." His voice cracked, but he held firm. "Stay away. For your sake." It gutted me. Days blurred into a haze of ignored calls and forced smiles at work, where colleagues whispered about the scandal. I threw myself into designs, vibrant murals of hidden gardens, symbols of growth in confinement, but each stroke ached with his absence. Jordan's text stopped cold, his shop visits a ghost. Yet, in the quiet hours, memories haunted, his laugh echoing in empty rooms, the phantom brush of his lips. 2 weeks in, desperation clawed. I drove to his bungalow unannounced, rain slicking the streets like tears. He opened the door shirtless, towel around his neck from a shower, surprise flickering before shutters slammed down. "Go home, Alex." But I didn't. I pushed inside, words tumbling. "You don't get to decide this for me. We're in it together, or not at all." He paced, muscles taut, confessing fragments. His ex, a closeted Marine who'd bailed when things got real, leaving scars deeper than skin. "I push because I care too much," he admitted, voice breaking. "Losing you?" I'd shatter. We collided then, not with anger, but need. Arms wrapped tight, breaths mingling, we clung like lifelines. No more distance, just raw honesty under the flicker of his porch light. But peace was fleeting. My parents summoned me to Bellevue, the estate looming like judgment. Dad's study smelled of leather and scotch. Mom perched on the settee, eyes red-rimmed. "We've indulged your phase," Dad said, voice steel. "But this dalliance ends now. The family's reputation, your sister's future, can't afford it." Mom pleaded softer. "Think of us, Alexander. Therapy helped before. It can again." Conversion camps, they meant the hell I'd escaped at 18. I stood, heart hammering. This isn't a phase. Jordan's not a dalliance. He's the first real thing I've had. The door slammed behind me, echoes chasing to my car. Outside, tires crunched gravel. Jordan waited, leaning against his truck, face etched with worry. Heard the shouting from the gate. How? He'd been watching, guarding from afar, breaking his own rules again. We drove in silence to a dive bar in Pioneer Square, neon buzzing like fireflies. Over whiskey sours, he opened up, his abuela's stories of queer ancestors in Mexico, smuggled across borders with love letters, his brother's suicide, a casualty of small-town bigotry. I swore I'd never let love win if it meant pain, he said, hand over mine. But you make me want to fight. That night marked our turning point. We mapped a plan, me pitching freelance to escape the startup's gossip mill, him saving for that shop dream. Friendship wove tighter with lovers' threads. Picnics in Discovery Park, where we'd sketch engines as hearts. Midnight drives blasting indie folk. Windows down, his hand on my thigh. Twists came subtle. A client who outed himself over coffee, becoming an ally. Jordan's boss, a grizzled vet with his own hidden past, slipping him extra shifts with a knowing wink. But shadows lengthened. Emily called, voice trembling. Chad's threatening annulment unless you recant. Family pressure mounted, Dad freezing my accounts, Mom sending guilt-laced care packages. Isolation crept, friends drifting, some from fear, others judgment. Then the gut punch, a letter from Jordan's past, forwarded by mistake. His ex, back from deployment, begging reconciliation. I was wrong to leave. We can make it work, discreetly. Jordan crumpled it, but doubt seeded. What if he's right? What if I'm holding you back? I saw the fracture then, his fear masquerading as protection. You're not holding me, you're healing me. We argued, voices rising in his kitchen, plates rattling. He stormed out, leaving me with the echo of his slam. Days passed in radio silence, my designs turning dark, thorns entwining roses. Desperation peaked when I spotted his truck at a bar in Fremont, laughter spilling out. Inside, he nursed a beer with strangers, eyes hollow. I approached, heart in throat. Running again? He flinched, pulling me aside. Trying to forget. Forget us? The words hung, but his grip on my arm betrayed him. Confession poured. The ex's letter unearthed insecurities, whispers from his childhood that love for men meant weakness, loss. I pushed to protect you from me, from this mess. Tears streaked his face and mine. In the alley, rain starting, we rebuilt. Promises whispered against skin, no more walls. But fate twisted sharper. A week later, at a pride rally in Capitol Hill, rainbow flags whipping in wind, chants rising, joy shattered. Protesters, fringe zealots, hurled slurs, bottles flying. Jordan shielded me, taking a gash to the arm. In the chaos, my phone buzzed, Dad's text. We're cutting you off. For good. The hospital wait that night mirrored our crash prelude. Sterile lights, coffee bitter. Jordan stitched up, discharged with warnings, but his eyes held storms. See? This is what I meant. You deserve better. I gripped his hand. Better's you. Always. We left together, Seattle's lights a blur, vowing to forge our path, his shop, my art, a life unapologetic. Yet climaxes build to crescendos. Months blurred, Jordan's shop opening in a warehouse district, me illustrating a queer fairy tale series. Love deepened, quiet mornings tangled in sheets, arguments over burnt toast resolving in laughter. But prejudice lingered. A customer at the shop, burly and bigoted, overheard our banter, spat venom. Fags like you ruin everything. Jordan froze, fists clenched. I stepped forward, voice steady. Love doesn't ruin, hate does. The man left, but the echo lingered. The real storm brewed familial. Emily, pregnant now, reached out. Chad's gone. Your lifestyle was the last straw, but I see it now. Mom and Dad, they're breaking. A reconciliation dinner at Bellevue, tension thick as fog. Dad's apologies rang hollow, Mom's embrace tentative. Jordan, invited as friend, sat tall, sharing his abuela's tales. Walls cracked, not crumbled, progress, fragile. Then the betrayal. My editor, a closeted ally, leaked my manuscript to tabloids, twisting illustrations into scandal. Headlines screamed, Heiress's brother pushes gay agenda on kids. Backlash hit, threats online, shop vandalized with slurs. Jordan, bandaged from glass shards, confronted me. I told you. I'm the curse. But in his eyes, fear, not anger. We fled to the coast, Olympic Peninsula's wilds a bomb. Under evergreens, by crashing waves, truth surfaced. His ex appeared, not begging, but warning. Military intel on Dad's firm, entangled in shady deals. Your old man's using queer rights as PR cover while funding anti-groups. Proof tumbled. Emails, donations masked. The twist gutted. My family, hypocrites profiting on pain. Confrontation loomed. Back in Seattle, we armed with evidence, facing Dad in his office. Revelations exploded, denials, then confessions. It was business, he growled. Mom wept, Emily raged. Alliances shifted, sister allying with us, exposing the rot. Legal battles ensued, headlines flipping. Tech Mobile's hypocrisy unmasked by son's love. Through trials, our bond tempered. Therapy unpacking traumas, friends rallying. Jordan's shop thrived, customized rides for the community. My books soared, tales of love conquering thorns. But the ultimate twist, Jordan's proposal, not on bended knee, but mid-argument over paint colors for our new home. Marry me, not to fix anything, but because breaking rules with you is the only distance that matters. We said yes under that harvest moon, full circle. Seattle's rains fell, but we danced in them, unbroken. The rain had stopped by dawn, but the storm in us raged on. Jordan's truck idled outside my apartment, engine a low rumble matching my pulse. I slid into the passenger seat, the cab smelling of pine air freshener and him, leather and faint motor oil. Where to? I asked, voice steadier than I felt. He glanced over, that half-smile cracking the tension. Anywhere but here. We peeled out, city lights fading into suburbs, then open road toward the Cascades. Silence stretched, comfortable now, laced with the unspoken. We'd survived the crash, the secrets, the family's iron grip. But survival wasn't living. It was this, him, me, the horizon. By noon, we hit a roadside diner off Highway 2, chrome stools and pie under glass cases. Over greasy eggs, he traced patterns on the formica. Last night, I wasn't running from you. From the fear. I nodded, for pausing. I know. But next time, we face it together. No more solo missions. His laugh was real, warming the chill. Texts buzzed, Emily, Dad's lawyering up. Stay low. Jordan's boss, shop's fine, kid. Take time. Allies emerging, cracks in the facade. We hiked Leavenworth's trails that afternoon, evergreens whispering secrets. At a overlook, valley sprawling gold with fall, he stopped. Remember that first porch night? I almost kissed you then. Heat flushed my cheeks. Why didn't you? Scared. Of this. He gestured wide. The world, us. I pulled him close, kiss sealing promises. No heat, just anchor. Back in Seattle by dusk, reality waited. My apartment door ajar, vandalized, illustrations shredded, walls scrawled. Abomination. Heart sank, but Jordan's arm steadied. We'll rebuild. Police report filed, community rallied. Neighbors from the Pride Center, offering crash pads, canvases. That night, curled on his couch, dog from the shelter snoring at our feet, hope flickered. Weeks turned to forge. Freelance poured in, queer authors seeking my voice. Jordan's shop buzzed, custom wraps with rainbow accents drawing clients. Dates wove normalcy. Ferry to Bainbridge, sketching ferries as lovers adrift. Volunteer at youth center, sharing stories sans shame. Twists lingered, Dad's settlement offer, laced with NDAs. Ex's final plea, rebuffed with closure. Climax crested at the book launch. Pike Place Market tinted against drizzle. Crowds swelled. Emily beaming, Mom tentative in corner, strangers clutching copies. Jordan's toast. To Alex, seeing beauty in broken things. Eyes met, love raw. But as applause died, a heckler shouted, mic feedback shrieking. Security dragged him, but words lingered. Pushing agendas on our kids. Aftermath, media frenzy, but support surged, interviews, petitions. Family fractured further, Dad's empire teetering under scrutiny. Mom's private call. I'm trying, son. For you. Progress, pedal by pedal. Through it. Us. Arguments over futures, make-up slow dances in kitchen. His proposal came casual, over coffee. Build this life? With rings. Tears, yes. Wedding small, beach, friends, vows vowing truth. Years on, shop expanded, book series hit lists. Prejudices faded, not gone. Reminders and stares, laws wobbling. But love? Unyielding. He still breaks rules, stealing kisses in public, pulling me close in storms. And I let him, because protection's in partnership, not distance. The wedding was a quiet rebellion, held on a driftwood-strewn beach in the San Juan Islands, where the Salish sea whispered approvals against the pebbles. No tuxes, just rolled sleeves and bare feet, wildflowers tucked into buttonholes. Emily officiated, her bump just showing under a flowing sundress, voice steady as she bound our hands with a hemp cord dyed in sunset hues. Jordan Reyes, do you promise to break every rule that tries to keep you from loving fiercely? His grin flashed, eyes locked on mine. Hell yes. Friends dotted the shore, queer artists, mechanics with inked arms, the youth center kids who'd grown bolder under our stories. Mom stood at the edge, clutching a tissue, Dad absent, but his check, earmarked for the shop's expansion, a silent concession. As the sun dipped, casting gold on waves, we danced to a portable speaker's folk tunes, Jordan's hand warm at my waist. Scared, I murmured, forehead to his. Terrified, but the good kind. Laughter bubbled, free. Yet, as stars pricked the sky, a shadow intruded. A call from Jordan's cousin in Texas, voice tight. Abuela's sick. Bad. Wants to see you both. The twist we dreaded. Family ties pulling across divides. We flew south next dawn, tension coiling like barbed wire. San Antonio's heat slapped us, Jordan's childhood home a stucco relic in a barrio where murals bloomed defiant on walls. Abuela Rosa, frail in her rocker, eyes sharp as agates, pulled him into an embrace that swallowed his broad frame. Mijo, she rasped, Spanish lilting, this the one. Jordan nodded, throat working. Alex, meet Rosa, the storyteller who taught me love outlives everything. She sized me up, then cupped my face, thumbs rough from decades of tamale dough. You heard him, I haunt you. Her winks softened it, but the weight landed, acceptance hard won, laced with legacy. Days blurred in caregiving, nights of vigils, her tales weaving through morphine haze. Graytunkle's forbidden love in revolutionary Mexico, letters burned but remembered, her own youth, dancing with women in hidden cantinas. Fear makes cowards, she told us, hand in ours. Love makes warriors. Jordan translated, voice thick, barriers crumbling. But conflict brewed. His father arrived, ex-cop bulk unchanged, mustache bristling. This lifestyle, he grunted over coffee, eyes sliding away. Jordan tensed, but Abuela's slap on the table silenced. Lifestyle? It's life, Carlos. Yours wasted on anger. The room held breath. Dad Reyes deflated, mumbling apology. Reconciliation? Tentative, like first steps. Abuela passed at dawn, full moon witness, her final breath a sigh of release. Funeral fused cultures, rosaries and rainbow ribbons, mourners from barrios and bars. Jordan's eulogy cracked us. She saw the colors in us before we did. Back in Seattle, ashes scattered in the lake, her stories etched in us. Life resumed, but transformed. Shop thrived, Jordan mentoring apprentices, kids like he'd been, tools in hand building confidence. My series expanded, volumes tackling loss, found family. Twists persisted, a documentary offer on our journey, tempting but exposing. We debated late, wine loosening tongues. Fame's a double edge, Jordan said, fingers tracing my collarbone. But truth? Worth the cut. We signed, cameras capturing not glamour, but grit, vandalism scars, family letters framed as trophies. Climax built domestic. Our first home, a fixer-upper in Wallingford, walls peeling but potential pulsing. Renovations unearthed literal ghosts. Old newspapers yellowed with 50s queer raids, headlines of raids and raids. History's loop? I murmured, paintbrush paused. Jordan hugged from behind. We break it. But strain showed, sleepless nights, arguments over budgets mirroring deeper fears. What if it's not enough? His doubt, my impatience. The breaking point. A client at the shop, teen runaway with bruises hidden under hoodies, confiding abuse from straighten-out camp. Jordan called me, voice shattered. He's us, Alex, scared alone. We took him in, makeshift family, navigating CPS, therapy. Kid, Micah, thawed slow, sketches I drew mirroring his pain. Jordan taught him wrenches, trust rebuilt gear by gear. Through it, love deepened. Anniversaries with Abuela's recipes, stumbles into forgiveness. Prejudice peaked. Neighbors glare at our pride flag, but countered by block party invites. Dad's olive branch. Awkward dinner. Him admitting therapy's lessons. I was wrong. About everything. Not absolution, but start. Years layered. Micah fostered, then adopted. Our trio unconventional, but unbreakable. Books won awards, shop franchise to Portland. Jordan's surprise, tattoo matching mine. A compass rose, needles etching, always north. In quiet, we reflect. Pushes were protections misplaced, distances illusions. Love's the rule we rewrite, every dawn. The compass ink still itched when Micah's first school play rolled around. A queer retelling of Romeo and Juliet. Him, as Mercutio, fierce and fabulous. We sat front row, Jordan's arms slung casual over my shoulders, pride swelling as curtains rose. Laughter, tears, applause thunderous. Backstage, hugs sticky with face paint, Micah grinning. You guys made this possible. Heart full, we drove home, fairy rocking gentle. But peace invites chaos. A letter arrived, postmarked Bellevue. Dad's will revision, inheritance strings attached, discreet contributions to family values packs. Rage boiled. Emily's call confirmed. He's doubling down, Alex. Control from the grave. We debated, fight or fold. Jordan's calm anchored. Your call. But we do it together. Lawsuit launched. Headlines reignited. Heiress son sues for soul. Trial dragged. Courtroom a coliseum of suits and stares. Witnesses piled. My book's impact. Shop's community ties. Even mom testifying tearful. He taught me love's not conditional. Verdict. Win. Funds freed. Empire dented. Catharsis. Bittersweet. Dad's ghost lingering, but powerless. Post-victory, we traveled. Road trip Route 66. Micah shotgun. Windows down. Stops at diners. Ghost towns. Stories swapping. In Grand Canyon depths, Jordan pulled me aside at dusk. Remember the crash? Thought I'd lost you. I kissed him soft. Never. Twists turned tender. Micah coming out as non-binary. Our embrace unwavering. Life's rhythm. Mornings with coffee and canvases. Evenings wrenching with Micah. Conflicts minor. Teen angst. Client dramas. But resolved in talks, not walls. Prejudice. Echoes in news. But our bubble resilient. Allies multiplying. Anniversary 10th. Vow renewal on that beach. Micah officiating now, voice deep. To breaking rules, building homes. Rings exchanged, see applauding. Micah's graduation cap sailed into the auditorium rafters, a black square comet trailing cheers. 18 now, they strode stage, diploma clutched, eyes finding us in the sea of proud faces. Jordan whooping loudest, me snapping photos through misty lenses. Post-ceremony, restaurant buzzed with toasts. Emily's baby cooing in lap, mom's tentative hug evolving to full embrace. You've built something beautiful, she whispered. Dad absent, but his letters now monthly, thawing slow. Micah's speech at dinner hit home. Family isn't blood, it's choice. Thanks for choosing me. College loomed. Seattle U. Art program. Dorm unpacked with our help. Empty nest echoed first night home. House too quiet. Jordan poured wine on deck. Weird, huh? I leaned into him. Good weird. Our turn. Dreams resurfaced. His expansion to Vancouver, my graphic novel on queer history. But vacancy invited vulnerability, old fears whispering. Twist struck swift. Anonymous email to Jordan's shop, attachments, photos from our wedding, doctored with slurs, threats veiled. Keep pushing, see what breaks. Panic spiked. Police involved, but trail cold. Nights sleepless, Jordan patrolling perimeter, me sketching defenses. It's the ghosts, he muttered. Hates Hydra. Cut one head, two grow. Counseling helped. Group for queer couples, stories mirroring. Vandalism, doxing. Bonds formed, resilience shared. Micah, sensing, video called. You're tougher than this crap. Kid wisdom. Climax brewed professional. My novel pitch to major publisher, queer epic spanning decades. Acceptance came with caveat. Toned down the politics. Rage flared. Jordan's support steel. Your voice, or nothing. I walked. Indie route. Crowdfunding surging. Community rallying. Book-born grassroots. Launch packed gallery. Walls alive with murals. Jordan emceed. Voice booming. Alex doesn't tone down. He turns up. Sales soared, reviews raving. But post-event, a face from past. My ex-wife, Sarah, poised in crowd. Heard about the book. Congrats. Awkward coffee followed, closure gentle. I was straight washing myself. You deserved better. Forgiveness flowed, chains lightened. Through it, love evolved. Date nights rediscovered, hikes reclaiming wild. Prejudice peaked in headlines. National bans brewing. But we countered. Advocacy, panels, Micah interning at center. Anniversary surprise. Jordan's custom bike. Chrome gleaming, seats for two. Ride into whatever. We did. Coastal cruise, wind whipping, hearts tandem. Years stacked. Micah's degree, gallery show, shop's sister site, thriving. Family mended. Mom visiting, dad's apology in person, halting. Proud son. Finally. Reflections in rear view. Pushes were preludes to pulls. Distances dissolved in devotion. Life's plot twists. We pin the turns. The bike's rumble faded as we parked at Ruby Beach, twilight painting waves purple. Micah's internship wrapped. They joined, trio complete. Bonfire crackled, Esmore sticky, stories looping. Remember Abuela? Jordan asked. Micah nodded. Her stories? My favorite. Laughter, embers rising. But embers hide sparks. News alert buzzed. Anti-queer bill advancing, sponsors tied to dad's old PACs. Fury reignited. Emily's text. He's clean now, but legacy lingers. We mobilized. Petitions, protests, my illustrations amplifying voices. Rally in Olympia, rain-slick steps, chants echoing. Jordan's sign, love wins, legally. Micah spoke, Mike steady. Don't erase us. Bill stalled, victory pyrrhic but potent. Home, exhaustion bonded. Movie marathons, Jordan's head in lap. Conflicts soft. Aging parents care, Micah's dating woes, but navigated with grace. Legacy project, community center expansion, named for Abuela. Groundbreaking, shovels turning earth, her spirit in soil. The center's ribbon cut with oversized shears, confetti rainbow exploding under gray skies. Speeches flowed, Micah's poignant, crediting the dads who showed fight's family. Crowd swelled, locals, activists, even a reporter from national news. Jordan beamed beside me, tool calloused hand in mine, pride tangible. Post-ceremony, open house buzzed. Workshops on auto repair for youth, art studios humming. Mom arrived late, bearing tamales, like roses, bridge building bite by bite. Success bred spotlight, invites to TEDx, panels on resilience. Jordan demurred. I'm wrenches, not words, but I coaxed. Your story's the wrench turning locks. His talk, unpolished, hit hard. Love's not abstract, it's showing up, grease and all. Applause thundered, messages flooding. You saved me. But like cast shadows, Micah's relationship crumbled. Partner's family ultimatum, bigotry's blade. Heartbreak hit hard. They crashed with us, room reclaimed. Nights of ice cream and indie films. Jordan's dad jokes coaxing smiles. Hearts mend, he said, bandaging invisible wounds. My sketches captured their fire, phoenix rising. Twist personal, health scare, Jordan's checkup flagging irregular heartbeat. ER dash, monitors beeping, my world narrowing to his pale face. Just stress, doc said, but fear gripped. Recovery slow, diet tweaks, walks prescribed. Vulnerability flipped scripts. Me cooking greens, him opening on pressures. Pushing too hard to protect, he admitted. Therapy deepened, unpacking machismo masks. Through it, community cradled. Potlucks at center, support unchecked. Emily's family grew, nephew toddling, calling us Uncle ANJ. Visits bridged, little one's acceptance pure. Professional surge, novel adapted to graphic, panels pulsing emotion. Premiere intimate, theater packed. Jordan's whisper mid-film. That's us, unfiltered. Reviews lauded authenticity, doors opening wider. Climax familial, dad stroke, hospital sterile as memory. We went, forgiveness freighted. Bedside his rasp, regrets. Too many. You were right. Tears shared, monitors muting malice. Recovery overlapped Jordan's, parallel paths to peace. Post-discharge, family retreat, cabin in Snoqualmie, games thawing. Dad's chess matches with Micah, stories swapped sans shame. Not perfect, but present. Life's Weave, centers programs flourishing, Micah curating exhibits. Prejudice pulses, election cycles stoking fires, but we fan cooler flames, voter drives, ally trainings. Anniversary, hot air balloon, dawn lifting over valleys. Jordan's vow refresh, to altitudes uncharted. Descent soft, hearts airborne. Reflections, twists taught trust, pushes preludes to presence. Love's narrative, co-authored, ever unfolding. Balloon's shadow skimmed peaks as we landed, grass dewy. Micah's exhibit opening loomed, debut solo, themes of chosen kin. Gallery hummed opening night, works vivid, portraits of us, layered with memory. But hum hid discord, critics review, slashing sentimental propaganda. Backlash online, trolls swarming. Micah faltered, but Jordan's arm steadied. Art's arrow, aim true. We rallied. Artist talk back, turning critique to conversation. Twist creative, collab born. Jordan's shop vans illustrated by Micah, mobile billboards of belonging. Fleet launch parade style, horns honking harmony. Health stabilized, Jordan's energy returned, expansion plans sketched. Family dinners routine, Dad's walker traded for cane, jokes landing lighter. Global echo, invites abroad, queerlit fest in Berlin. We went, Micah tagging, cobblestones, cafes, connections crossing oceans. Stories shared, barriers blurred. Homecoming, center's first wedding, couple weed mentored, vows echoing ours. Tears, toasts, dance floor packed. In hush, Jordan's fingers lace mine, plots ours. Stars nod, distances, dissolved in depth. Berlin's fade lingered in jet-lagged bones, but Seattle welcomed with drizzle kiss. Center's wedding glow sustained, bookings surged, spaces sanctified for unions unjudged. Micah's exhibit toured, stops in Portland, SF. Acclaim building, confidence cresting. Jordan's vans turned heads, commissions rolling. Custom wraps for pride floats nationwide. Success stratified. Media dubbed us the Reyes-Harrington effect, resilience blueprint. But blueprints crack. Anonymous donor to center, generous, but strings. Board seat for traditional values rep. Debate raged meetings. Jordan's fist on table. No Trojans here. Vote ousted, but rift seated. Staffer resigned, citing extremism. Personal pulse. Micah's partner re-entry. Mended fences. Dinner test run awkward but earnest. We're trying, they said. Jordan's nod wise. Growth's glitchy. Twist health redux. My turn. Checkup flags fatigue. Tests probing. Shadow of cancer word loomed. Nights grip tight. Biopsy clear. Stress. Anemia. But scares sharpened. Legacy talks with Micah. Wolves updated. Live now. Jordan urged. Garden planted. Tomatoes twisting towards sun. Professional pivot. Graphic adaptation greenlit series. Streaming potential. Writer's room diverse. Scripts honoring source. Jordan visited set. Extra in shop scene. Wink to camera. Climax communal. National conference. Us keynoting on allyship. Crowd electric. Q&A raw. Questions on loss. Labels. Jordan's close. Loves verb. Do it daily. Standing ovation. Connections forged. Familial front. Dad's remission party. Backyard bash. Toasts tiered. His to us. You fixed what I broke. Embrace real. Scars softened. Prejudices pulse. Local ordinance threat. Bathroom bills redux. We lobbied. Testimonies. Micah's art petitioning. Win narrow. Relief ragged. Anniversary. Island hop. Kayaks cutting blue. Vows voice to seals. Endure, evolve. Paddle home tandem. Reflections. Scares scripted strength. Twists textured tapestry. Love's arc. Ascending. Authored afresh. Kayaks scrape on sand marked return. Salt crusted. Micah's tour wrapped triumph. Book deal inked. Jordan's expansion. Vancouver site groundbreaking. Maple leaves and logo. But ground cracks. Vandals hit vans. Slurs slashed. Tires slashed. Police dragged feet. Hate crime backlog. Fury fueled. Press conference. Micah's mic. Silence enables. Speak. Donations doubled. Security funded. Twist Tinder. Mom's coming out. Late bloom. Widow's revelation. Always knew, but hid. Support circle closed. Her first pride with us. Rainbow pin proud. Creative crest. Series premiere. Red carpet casual. Flannel and jeans. Reviews wrapped. Streams spiking. Jordan's binge watch commentary. That's my line. Nailed it. Global ripple. Invites to Toronto Fest. Us headlining. Flights booked. Micah crewing. Maple mischief. Home. Center's anniversary gala. Lights strung. Dances swirled. Toasts toasted. Dad slow danced with mom. Eyes soft. Hush hour. Jordan's breath sinks. Chapters rich. Moon concurs. Pushes past. Pulls perpetual. Toronto's chill nipped, but fest warmed. Panels packed. Books signed till wrists ached. Micah networked. Eyes alight. Jordan charmed crowds with shop tales. Closing night. Award for impact. Us on stage. Speech shared. From crash to coast. Love's the constant. Cheers cascaded. After party alive. Return recharged. Vancouver site opened. Ribbons snipped amid cheers. Cross-border commutes. Vans ferrying families. Center's waitlist grew. Programs proliferating. Coding for queer kids. Auto for all. Success's shadow. Burnout beckoned. Schedules stacked. Slivers slept. Micah's grad school apps loomed. Decisions daunted. What if wrong, they vented. Jordan's wisdom. Paths fork. Pick passionate. Twist timely. Dad's full recovery. Trip planned. Italy. Olive Grove's calling. We joined. Micah opting finals. Villas whispered. Pasta paired with pasts. Dad's confession over Chianti. Feared losing you. Lost more hiding. Toasts to tomorrow. Bridges burnished. Health harmony. Checkups clean. Gardens bountiful. Harvest feasts family-wide. Emily's second. Nephew's sibling. Chaos cherished. Professional peak. Series renewed. Season 2 scripting. Cameo for Micah. Voice acting grit. Jordan's guest spot. Wrenching wisdom. Climax cultural. Pride Month mega. Parade float our vans led. Rainbows rolling. Chants chorused. Confetti crowned. After. Block party. Grills grilling. Stories spilling. Prejudices prod. Supreme Court whispers. Rights wobbling. We wrote. Marched. Mentored. Micah leading youth lobby. Anniversary zenith. Hot springs soak. Vapors veiling vows. To steams unseen. Emergence renewed. Reflections finale. Arcs arched. Twists triumphed. Love's lexicon. Limitless. Lovingly lived. Spring steam cleared. Skins pruned. Micah's acceptance. NYC Art Institute. Tears and cheers. Send-off brunch. Bags packed with promises. Shop's third site scouted. LA. Sun calling. Center's endowment secured. Futures funded. Family fusion. Holidays hybrid. Thanksgiving tamales and turkey. Hanukkah hints from mom's new circle. Creative coda. Novel trilogy capped. Epilogue echoing us. Launch Lunartide. Full moon feast. Global goodbye. Sabbatical south. Mexico tracing Rose's roots. Pueblos pulsed. Histories hummed. Love letters unearthed. Legacies linked. Home horizon. Porch swing creaks. Jordan's head on shoulder. Bestseller. IT's. Us. Stars script sequels. Pushes. Prologues to this plot. Endless. Embraced.